Welcome, welcome. All right, it's Coach Kara, and we're talking about some questions, common questions that you might have when you're going through your Prolon 5 day fasting mimicking diet, FMD. So, here are some common questions that people have. So, starting off with the fast, you're going to be avoiding sugar. Maybe the day before the fast, you're avoiding sugar. You have refined carbs and alcohol, reduced portions, avoiding animal based proteins, foods with higher saturated fats, and don't eat or discontinue eating late into the night. On day one of your fast, caffeine. Can I have my coffee? So, the research study was done without coffee. And so it's best to avoid caffeine because it can interact with food sensing pathways. However, some people are used to having their coffee and it helps get you through it. So, if necessary, you can have up to 1 8-ounce coffee, um, and they say it has to be under 140 milligrams of caffeine daily. You can also have a caffeinated tea, a plain caffeinated tea. Uh, you can't add any creamer, no sweetener, no flavorings. Um, and so if you can pay attention, sometimes different coffees have different milligrams. So just try to stay under that 8 ounces of coffee or 140 milligrams so you don't activate those food sensing pathways in our body. Exercise. You should avoid strenuous exercise and workouts while on the 5 day fasting mimicking diet. You can include some light exercise, walking, maybe some light yoga or light stretching. But you're going to be taking in less calories. And so you should just try to keep it simple, keep it light. Uh, Medications and supplements. So you want to pause all non-prescription supplements. So I know that I take a lot of supplements each day. I may take, almost 10 different vitamins or plant-based vitamins. So I had to stop all of those when I went on to the 5 day fast. And then once the fast was over, then I went back to taking my normal supplements. Even probiotics or prebiotics. Now, prescription medications, you need to continue to take your prescription medications. So, if you have prescription medications, you should be consulting with your doctor, letting them know that you are going on the fasting mimicking diet. You can send your doctor the website and he can see all the clinical trials. Dr. Longo is working with quite a few hospitals right now, and they're using the FMD diet, as part of treatment programs and recovery programs. So please, you can consult with your physician if you have prescription medications, and you need to continue all prescriptions while fasting. So, some general recommendations are to consume everything in the box each day. So, you will be eating all the contents of the box. Everything's been researched as far as what the body needs. So, the macronutrients, the micronutrients, um, like how much carbs, sodium, protein, what you need so that your muscles are not deteriorating. Everything's been studied, finally researched. And so, to get the benefits, you should try to consume everything in the box. You cannot switch items between days. So, don't take food out of Friday's box and say, oh, I'm going to switch it to Monday. So we're not switching any items because each day has been calculated or added up the nutrients that are there. You can eat any time of the day. So if you're previously have been practicing intermittent fasting, you can pause that, while you're on this. You don't have to stop eating by 6 or do a 16-hour fast, where some people don't eat till 2 o'clock in the day. So you can eat any time of the day. There's no specific eating window. There is a chart that comes with the fast that explains, that gives a recommended eating schedule. So it would include breakfast, lunch, a snack, and dinner. You can eat the items in any order. If you like to eat your Choco Crisp, chocolate bar, before you have your soup, because sometimes I'd like to eat my dessert before my food. I did that. Um, and sometimes I would save some of my crackers. If I saw I had one pack of crackers for the day, I eat two with my lunch, and then I'll have two crackers for my snack, and then maybe two with my dinner. So I would kind of stretch it out through the day. Um, you can use a blender bottle. They do have some type of like containers that are blender containers, or you can use an immersion blender for your soups. I did it both ways, where I just would put hot water with my soup, and then stir it with like a fork and whisk it or shake it up, because I would put it inside of a thermos. um, and then we also tried having our soup, because my husband did the fast with me each time. And so we also tried using the immersion blender. And we found that when we use the immersion blender, the soup gets really smooth. It actually starts to thicken a little bit more. And you can, if you wanted to stretch it more, you could by adding a little bit more hot water. Um, Personally, you can have a few herbs. So we would, put a pinch of rosemary in there, maybe a pinch of black pepper in there, just a few little herbs to help with the seasoning. So the top tips for easier fasting: you want to drink water. You should have a minimum of 32 ounces of water in addition to the L drink, and all other fluid within the program. Your L drink, it says to mix that in 32 ounces of water, and then drop your hibiscus tea bags in there with it. It helps with digesting it. Um, some people don't like the taste of the L drink, so when you have that hibiscus tea in there with it, it goes down a little easier. Um, so the personal goal should be half of your weight in ounces a day of water. So if I weighed 150 pounds, then I should be drinking 75 ounces of water per day. So you want to have some light exercise. You want to keep yourself busy while you're fasting. That's going to help the day to go by. You can get your sleep, get your rest, and you can use over the counter medications as a last resort. You can take Tylenol or Advil, Aleve. Okay, there's a quote that you'll hear us say. It's called "Live in the box." Do not add anything except for water to your Prolon box. So um, you're not going to add lemon to your water, or apple cider vinegar, or just some of the things that you normally would do. The research has not been conducted with those extra items. So those could potentially, the body could potentially register those extra nutrients, and that would kick the body out of the fast. That would halt, what's happening. So we don't want to do that. um, no bone broth or no other Prolon products. Don't substitute the Prolon fasting bars and the fasting shakes that you buy separately that are outside of the box. Don't substitute those with items that are inside the box, because those have been specifically calculated. So if you have more questions, go ahead and reach out. You have my phone number. You can text me. You can message me. Um, and all right. So we will continue this in the next video, and have a great day.